Well, that was nice. Like a month off, but I don't want to talk about this one too. Started off toxic. 2-round autoloader, high explosive. No AP FSDS, of course. Not a tier 11. It's a tier 10, but BZT-70. It is a 180mm main gun. Cupola is the main weak spot. They buffed the armor on the turret. Also, it's slow. It's like a T95 with a turret, practically. So quad tracks. Does not have the spare track system, like with the Russian server, unfortunately. Also, no animation for the little searchlight thing, but whatever. I want to go back to resting. I don't want to come back. It's like a whole month off and just get used to it, right? Now you have to come back to this shit. Also, there should be like space armor for the hull sides. Should be, like with the T95 too, technically. You could blow off the outside layer of the tracks. It should continue to roll like a T28 in a sense, but it is still somewhat big for artillery to shoot at, I guess, into the engine deck. But yeah, 2-round high explosive auto reloader is not a good idea for a 180mm. They removed that, so we don't even know the actual pin of AP round added. No idea. I at least don't know, but alright. At least there's gun depression when you're depressing the gun, so more room on top of the turret for the breach. But okay, it's not fast. It's like 10 horsepower per ton ratio and 25 kilometers per hour top speed. So practically a Doom Turtle with a turret on top. Practically. But Dushka on top. Large bustle in the back. Does not carry any tools or crew equipments, personal belongings, none of that. There's a pickaxe, I guess. Alright. It's on console too. As a premium tank for... It's not World War II era. It's modern era too. It's like they're tier 11 in a sense, or tier 12. But yeah, they changed the alpha damage of the shell. They removed the auto reloader, yada yada. It was 60 seconds for the auto reloader for the 2-round high explosive. So back then, high explosive and heat rounds, but 190mm pin high explosive instantly destroys a 𝗕𝗭𝗧 practically. And then again, it doesn't do much against other heavily armored vehicles, right? But against paper targets, that's pretty fine, like a DBV. But yeah, accuracy is garbage. Aim time is kind of long, but they buffed it to the AP round. It's still kind of garbage of accuracy, but that's more workable, right? 0.43. That's like a D25T originally at tier 7, tier 6. They removed it for the KV-1S. They changed the whole line up too. So 25 rounds now. Better dispersion while traversing the hull and the turret. 0.2 is okay, but not great. Not really that good. You still need vertical stabilizer, but 25 kilometers per hour top speed, 10 horsepower per ton ratio, slow traverse, yada yada. Health could be much more, right? It's a salt heavy tank, same category as a mouse or E100, but has the same health as a versatile or practically breakthrough heavy, like with a 277 or 5A. So health is not that much. You need like 500 more health on this vehicle. View range is also pretty crap too. They did not buff it. So don't look at the actual original stats of the super test. This video is already shot, so whatever. It's already scuffed. But they did not buff the mobility, did not buff the camo or the view range. View range is crap For a tier 10, that's crap. At least 390, right? 380 is a tier 8. Crap tier 8 too. Maybe tier 7, but yeah, it's slow. No view range. Hull size is only 100, but there should be space armor. They buffed the turret front from like 250 to 300. But let's see the actual model on the Russian server. So yeah, it is practically the same vehicle, but armor wise, 310 on the hull front compared to our 270. It's still 250 on the turret front, but that's up for debate. It's space armor on the hull sides into a V shape on the bottom. Yeah, auto bounce. Most of the time when side scraping, cannot really commit that high of an angle, right? Yeah, it doesn't really commit that hard to side scraping, like with the Mouse King, in a sense. It's not really that crazy. It's only 100 underneath, so it's not like 100mm of space armor covering 100mm of actual hull armor. So that's the Mouse King. But hull front 310 compared to our 270. I mean, 270 for our tier 10 is not bad, right? It's flat 270, but it's still 270. Angle it a little bit, defeat almost all gold shell other than Yappings or E100 or something. But lower plate 160 at a slope angle, which is not bad. Upper plate slope 140, very well sloped. Turret front 250. Our version is supposedly 300, but that depends. Around the gun is 350. The cupola is 240. So yeah, the cupola is still massive on top. It's almost like the original IS cupola too. It's like a bulge, a canister of a cupola on top. Ew. Yeah, that's pretty big, but even though it's rounded on the sides, it's still 240. It could be weaker on our version. It's a 5-man crew, 2 loader, so that's a loader right here for the loader cupola. But that's also kind of weak. At 240 still. 2 cupola, similar to the 5A. 2 cupola in a sense, but yeah, 2 loaders. You'll have to find another loader from like the 113 along with the 5A in a sense. It's 4-man crew normally for the breakthrough heavy, but we don't have a assault super heavy for the Chinese. It's all breakthrough, right? 113, 5A, the 72s, 75. 75 is also like 4-man crew. Funny enough. 81 tons. I thought it would be heavier, like at least 100, right? It's fine. It's mostly the tracks. 81 tons. Funny to think about, this thing is 81 tons. It's only barely like 10 tons more than the Abrams, but it's a big gun. It's all fluff. But yeah, it all depends on the actual vehicle model. All depends on the actual common test. We're talking to nothing right now, so who the hell knows? But this thing needs more health, right? They did not buff the mobility, the view range, the camo, the health. In a sense, this thing needs more health. Original DPM with high explosive. Yeah, yeah, right. No way. So yeah, this thing needs at least like 500 more health or 400 more health. At least 200 more health, right? It's not a breakthrough heavy. That's a breakthrough heavy HP. It's premium though. It's premium tier. It's a placeholder. It's not premium, right? Do they have the balls after 1 month of the Chieftain and the MBTB to put a premium tier 10? I mean, we're skipping really very far ahead if that's the case, but how long did it took for a premium tier 9 to come out and then a tier 10 in the loot box? We saw premium tier 9 for like 4 years now, so logical logical progression of putting tier 10s into loot box. It probably would take at least like 2 more years before premium tier 10s, I guess. I don't know, it's already going to shit. Yeah, it's not high explosive or high explosive anti-tank. Shell velocity's crap, by the way. 400 meters per second. That's garbage. It's a close range shotgun of a derp shell. And no, so they changed that to AP, but we have no idea. They don't have this Supertest Stats garage screenshots, so who the hell knows? It's not a spare track mechanic for the tracks. It's not quad track like with the Russian server. So unlike the Yo tank, get your tracks blown off, you can still move, or one set of your tracks blown off, but 0.25 dispersion while moving is not bad, but it's about the same as with our server, even though it's a different gun. They have AP round and AP FSDS for the gold shell, of course, but slightly less alpha. Well, then again, it's not a high explosive. They don't give us the actual high explosive or AP alpha damage, or even the pin for that matter. So I haven't seen the actual pin of the AP round, so the video is already scuffed. You already know. So this is not reliable. Twin engine, but model as 1, yada yada. Premium tank. Yeah, it all depends on the armor, depends on the actual AP round and the cupola size, but it's a Doom Turtle with a turret, practically. It's the size of a Doom Turtle with a turret too. So for now, I mean, at least they change out the toxic gun, I guess, of the auto reloader high explosive. But otherwise, it's really weird how you come after a vacation, everything seems like shit. And you just want to continue the vacation afterwards. It's just, I don't really give a damn. But, without talking about the firepower of this thing, mobility is fine if the armor holds up. The downside to this vehicle is it has crap for health, right? Also, side armor is not crazy, right? It's not like the Mouse King. Is the Mouse King updated on the actual Russian server? This is not the common test. This is the actual. It is. It's there already. So this thing has 100mm of side armor, but yeah, side armor is 100. Also 100 of space armor attached to it. So yeah, even though it's only 100 on paper, it's pretty thick. Can't even click the button. Yep, 100 hull sides, 100 tracks, or actually 25 tracks, and 100 for space armor. So side scraping with this thing is impenetrable. It doesn't even have to angle. You'll struggle on a flat surface to pin at the sides sometimes. But yeah, the tracks on the BZ-T70 is only like 30-ish millimeter, so it's not that crazy. So don't overcommit to side scraping, but depends on the cupola, depends on the loader cupola and the commander cupola, and top the roof of the turret and the engine deck. But they don't show you the AP round pin. They don't show you the actual gold shell. It's fine, I guess. I don't know. We've already seen they down-tiered the BZ-74. It's not tier 10. It's a tier 8. It already came out on the Chinese loot box for the Dragon Boat Festival, but yeah, we don't have this at tier 10 now, the BZ-74. I was going to say there's a lot of tier 10 heavy tank for the Chinese, but this is not there anymore. Yeah, BZ-74 is not there anymore. No, we get more or less the same stuff other than the GPT-75, which is the high explosive version of the BZ-75, but China heavy tanks, yeah, it's not there. This hasn't came out yet, right? The skin copy of a BZ-75. Yeah, we have the 72 in place of the 74, but otherwise you normally don't see the 116 F3. That's for Clan Wars. Yeah, okay, I guess. Well, since we already have tier 10 in loot box, why the fuck not, right? Why the fuck not? Just put it in the loot box, but is it a fun vehicle? The AP makes it very boring. It's slow, it's boring. It's like a Doom Turtle, right? Depends on the armor, but if it's a high explosive, it's not fun to play. It's also not fun to play against too, right? 400 meter per second high explosive that sometimes pins for 1,250 damage, which is pretty hilarious. And 2-round auto reloader for a 60-second reload is pretty hilarious too, but it's not fun to play with the gun, right? You have very highs and very lows. It's a valley, practically. So you'll have devastating, terrible games. Right onto, like, sometimes you'll face off against tier 8s. Mostly tier 8s that doesn't know what the hell to shoot at this thing with. And it shoots back at high explosive into, like, 𝗕𝗭𝗧-𝟳𝟬 or Scorpion Gs. Yeah, you have a good time, but it's very high highs and very low lows. So it's not that great. So overall, it's like a... it's like a 5. It's okay, depending on armor. But there you go, folks. We're back, I guess. Common test should be this week, so that's why I'm gearing up for the common test. But Leicester Studio has, or the government has seized almost all the assets of Leicester Studio, but they changed the assets last moment, so we'll have to see what the hell happens with the Russian server. But they have changed the icon for gold and credits into like this weird little cracker shape. I don't know, but okay. So, I mean, hopefully they'll still continue making more content, but I think the pause between like end up loot box for the special Halloween mode we get in like May, I think the pause of like 2 or 3 weeks is the transfer of all the assets from Russian server to our server. So they already got stuff like the crossbow and the condor. We already covered this on the Russian common test, but do they even have the crossbow? It's a heavy tank. Yeah, you saw this on the Russian common test. We already covered it. But this thing is also on the front page of World of Tanks console. I took a look for the BZT-70 on console, right? This is a premium tank on the console version, but on the home page, that's a crossbow with a 17-pounder or so, maybe a 20-ish pounder, but 20 pounders usually don't have the bore evacuator or the fume extractor in the middle. That's the muzzle brake of a 20 pounder or so, or at least a 17 pounder, but yeah, it's more like the 17 pounder, but still, that's a crossbow. Yeah, that's a crossbow on console. So they probably transferred a lot of equipment or a lot of assets from the Russian server in the last 2 weeks or so. From the crossbow to the condor to the, what the hell is a tier? It's a FE226 British heavy tanks double barrel. They have a different version of the heavy tanks. The condor, already covered that. They don't test tier 9s, unfortunately. They only test other even numbers. So the FE, what the hell is that? 240. There we go. Not the 226 is the contradictions, right? I don't know. Whatever. So there you go, folks. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're back into making garbage content, but yeah, it's a more boxy version. Yay. That's a 32 pounder. If I ever see, yeah, that's a 32 pounder if I ever seen one, but yeah, oh, okay. BZT-70, yeah, whoopee, great. Put it in your loot box. Nobody cares about it anymore, right? Once you crush that, once you cross, fuck me. Once you cross that Rubicon, no coming back. Tier 10s in loot box, that's the norm now, so fuck it. There's no surprise assembly shop or, I don't know, auction event. None of that is special anymore. Just shove it into loot box. No give a fuck. No give a fuck anymore. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.